As a traveling DP, I usually spend the weekend before sorting out the gear for the coming week. In this case, I've been covering diverse assignments, and in those, I've learned, usually painfully, that preparation is everything. So, in the past week, I've covered Trump's 100-day rally in Detroit with the Sony Z200, run and gun ENG style. Next, it was off to Kentucky for tornado coverage, and then back to Chicago for a polished 2-camera corporate interview with the FX9. For traveling, I prefer to use my smaller core BPU type batteries, and I usually take 1 or 2 larger core SWX, which are only there to power the live view. I've worked in Cairo and all over the Middle East, chasing breaking news through alleyways and deserts. But now it's the Atlanta traffic that tests your nerve. Parking far from the venue, navigating blocked streets, security lines, waiting to pick up media credentials has become a big part of the job. Usually you're one of a dozen crews waiting and then elbowing for space, hauling gear across a police barricade, and then trying to find a good spot on the press riser. That's why I love press work, because it's as much about patience and hustle as it is about image quality. I'm always interested in how other people operate, and this specific photog seemed to have pretty much all his equipment in one small Pelican. I was really impressed. I managed to throw 2 lights, all the sticks, the stands, and now he's just putting out a little table for the correspondent. I'm not sure if I would throw all my equipment in one box like this, but it seemed to work for him. For Detroit, I needed speed and flexibility. The Z200 with its built-in zoom was a godsend, especially with that 90 feet throw. I could stay agile in the chaos, and with the XLR, man, I could capture clean audio, long less shots, quick stand-ups with all the crew, and MOS sound bites.
Primarily across the Midwest.
Right after Detroit, it was off to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, to cover the commencement ceremony of the University of Alabama with a speech by President Trump.
The power given to the president to keep our country safe.
In Kentucky, it was all about safety and logistics. I kept a go bag ready with extra batteries, water, and waterproof cover for the camera. The drone gave us a good idea of the extent of the damage. I also made sure I had my power station backup, which is a real non-negotiable when you're miles away from power and racing daylight.
Drive, and this gives you a sense of just the remarkable path.
From there, I was off to Tampa, to the University of South Florida. The FX9 comes out for that shallow depth of field, clean skin tones, and control lighting. I shot dual angles with A-cam locked and wide. I've been doing some testing with the FX9 as A-cam and the Z200 as B-cam. And basically, obviously, when we have matching color temperatures and we're shooting in S-cinetone, they match quite nicely. Especially when we're not looking for that shallow depth of field and when the background or the foreground is important in the interview. So that's pretty much it. A few weeks of traveling around with 2 Pelican 1615 and a carry-on with all the lithium batteries. I think the key is really to make sure the gear fits the assignment and all that stuff is built up beforehand. Knowing the workflow, prepping the media, and always thinking about the story we're about to tell, whether it's breaking news, a disaster zone, or a branded message.